I love working with scrap wood. I've used it to fix up the workbench, and I've used it to completely build the stool I was just sitting on. It has so much more life and history behind it than any board you'd be buying at a store. It has challenges. It might not be perfectly straight. There could be gaps or cracks, problems that you have to work around and solve to make it into something useful. Even though it has these problems, you can still make really, really nice things out of scrap wood. So good, in fact, that you might even want to try and sell them to other people. And that's kind of what we're going for today. I'm going to be building a lamp completely out of scrap wood. Let me break it down with the few pieces that you see here. Starting first with the actual base of the lamp. This is a piece of wood I got for free out of an old garage that was being taken down. In terms of the actual main part of the lamp, I'm going to be using this branch, which once again came from the same garage. Now, I think using screws in general in a finished product like this, where it's designed to be all made out of scrap wood, all designed to be kind of rustic looking, it feels like using screws or nails kind of goes against the whole spirit of that idea. So what I'm going to be doing is using pegs to hold the pieces together, taking a bit off of this to create a much larger and heftier peg to mount the two pieces together.
To get started, I cut the branch down to size and then worked to remove the bark.
Well, it's not perfect just yet, but we're definitely starting to get an idea of what the wood looks like underneath all of this bark. Basically, I'm going to try and clean up some of the bumps and bruises, even out some of the little scratch marks in the grain, and overall just sand up the entire thing to a high grit and make it look nice and shiny. For the time being though, I think that's enough work on the body of the lamp, and I think we should start focusing on the base.
And that's just what I did. I started by cutting the piece square, removing the edges, and then putting it on the lathe to get the final shape.
The base of the lamp is starting to look pretty good. It still needs a bit of sanding work, but the overall shape is about where I want it to be. And as I mentioned, we have a couple of screw holes here to deal with as well, along with some of the imperfections on the surface and on the sides. So to clean that all up, I'm going to use my orbital sander and remove all of the dings and dents as best I can.
I started sanding with 120 grit before moving up to 220 to get a nice smooth finish on both the body and the base. After this, I took the time to make the peg by cutting off a piece of the pallet, mounting it to the lathe, and turning it down to the size I needed.
Now that that last piece is carved out on the lathe, I have my three main parts just about finished. So now it's a matter of drilling a nice clean hole through the middle of this piece into this piece and starting to attach, or at least figure out how I'm going to attach these three pieces together.
Unfortunately, my arm blocked most of this shot, but all I was really doing was drilling holes in the base and the body to mount everything together with the peg and some wood glue.
So the glue joint is now completely dry. I've got a little bit of sanding work that I'm going to have to do to get rid of the excess glue, as well as cutting off the base peg here to make the bottom completely flat. And then from there, it's on to finishing and electrical work to actually turn this into a lamp. Now that the actual body of the lamp is sanded down and most of the scuff marks are cleaned up, it's time to consider how we're going to be mounting the actual lamp hardware. So the general assembly will be like so. Metal insert
connected to the lampshade holder, which is connected to the actual light socket. And all of this is going to be directly attached into the lamp. However, I am going to need to wire the whole thing. I actually have some very unique wire here. This stuff is made to look like a twine rope, even though it is a perfectly functional wire. So I'll wire this into here, give it some wraps around the base of the lamp, and voila. The wiring can basically be broken down into 3 steps, and that is removing the twine from the wire, stripping the wire to get access to the copper, and attaching these ends to their proper receptacles. Go, light bulb is in, and moment of truth. That looks working to me. I've taken the time to clean up the workshop and also fix the audio problem that I was having. Sorry about all of that. However, I have got something new here, something special. This is a wood stamp, and with this, I can show all of you that this is my product. Basically, the way it works is the metal end here heats up, I stamp that into the wood, and it leaves a very nice logo on it. And it does it just like this. All it needs is a couple of seconds on the piece of wood, and we should have a nice logo. It's not perfect, but it's definitely legible enough. Well, now that the stamp has been applied, the lamp is basically finished. It is a very, very nice looking piece. This wood has a history. It has a story behind how it was made that you can see right here. And to me, I think that's a lot more interesting than anything mass produced. So let's get this first coat of oil on and see how the shine starts to look. And it just takes on a nice golden hue. Tongue oil is awesome. It has none of the harmful bits that you're getting from a lot of the other finishes, all the polys and such. And that's why I use it on every product that I make. It's a simple, natural thing, just like many of the pieces that I make. I'm showing off what you can do with just a little bit of wood, a little bit of experience, and a couple of semi-useful tools. You don't need to have the world's best workshop and the world's best tools or even the world's best wood to make projects that are useful and interesting and even marketable and sellable. I mean, with a bit of elbow grease, some perseverance, and a little bit more ingenuity than you might need for making some stuff out of your everyday box brand woods, you can still create amazing pieces from almost nothing. I mean, these pieces were just in a garage. They were going to be thrown away with the rest of the pieces of the garage that were getting dismantled. I saved them, gave them a new life, and now they're doing way, way more than pretty much anybody would have expected from them. And I think that's a really, really cool thing. Well, the lamp is just about finished. The second coat of oil has dried nicely, and it's really soaked into the wood and given it an excellent color. I'm very, very happy with how this has turned out so far. So let's reattach the actual light bulb to the top and see how the finished product looks. There it is, a perfectly finished table lamp. And as of now, this lamp is up for sale on Etsy, on my page linked down below in the bio. And considering you've made it all the way to the end of this video, you definitely have some interest in at least the lamp or in the things I'm making, so thank you for that. But if you're interested in any of the products that are going to be up for sale on my Etsy page, use this code NWSHOP for 25% off everything for the first 2 weeks that this video is live. That's NWSHOP, all caps, no spaces. So keep an eye out for my Etsy page. If there's anything there that's interesting to you, or if I make some projects down the line that end up on there as well. I really hope you like the story of the lamp and getting the whole thing put together. So thank you so much for watching, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next video.